others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom, said Lao Tzu. Yesterday was World Population Day. As of today, we are more than 8.2 billion people in the world. And I am certain I am never going to know everything about any of them in my lifetime. But I am also certain that if I try, I can know in and out about one person that I meet every day in the mirror. Self-discovery is not a luxury. It is a survival in the hues and cries, ups and downs, highs and lows, thicks and thin, calm and chaos, celebration and challenges of life. I am Nidhi Choudhary. I am an IAS officer, a mother of 2 boys, a poet and a painter. But I'm not here before you to share just about policy or poetry, parenting or painting. I am here before you to share a journey, personal, layered, and deeply human. I was not even born when a promise was made by my father that if he had a girl and his friend had a boy, or vice versa, they would be married. I was in 11th standard when that promise showed up before me in the form of a family with sweets and expectations. Thankfully, the engagement didn't happen. But growing up in Marwar, where early marriage was a norm, I grew up constantly in the shadow of this. Just to share a few statistics with you, I was born in 1984, and in that decade, the incidence of child marriage in Marwar was about 70%, and the female literacy was only 15%. As late as 2019-20, 1 out of 4 people are getting married before the legal age of marriage in Rajasthan. So when I was growing up, I grew up with questions. What is my role in my own life? Who am I but somebody to be married off early? And these questions became my companions in my path to self-discovery. I was 10 when I had my first period. And the women in the neighborhood started questioning and suggesting that early onset of period was because of spicy food or pickles or even education causing early onset of puberty. I suddenly became an introverted and questioning child from being an outgoing, cheerful, bubbly girl. And I penned down a poem as a revolt to the newly imposed restrictions. Now, even in 2019, a study was conducted in Udaipur, which is much better off area than Marwar. More than 92% girls face some kind of religious restrictions during menstruation. So when I was facing it, I penned down a 16-liner poem, "मैं हूँ परियों की शहजादी, मुझको प्यारी आज़ादी." And I showed this poem to my father. And he sent it to Balhans, a children's magazine, which published it and sent me a ₹50 money order. But came along with that a lifelong motivation to keep writing. And I'm happy to share with you that that poem became a part of this collection. And today I have to my credit 3 published books, the recent one being Chal Karta Paimana, which has been recently launched. All this became with a vulnerable moment of looking within and asking about what is my role, what is my existence. I was 17 when a call came to my father, whether he would allow me to speak in front of a large public rally on reservation. I replied to my father that I don't understand anything about the caste or the political economy of reservation. But I feel for women. I want to speak for women empowerment. They agreed because the organizers did not have a single female speaker for the audience. When I reached the venue, on the stage, there were more than 100 stalwart political leaders from Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, UP, MP, and over 1 lakh people in the audience. And I stood up as a frail, thin girl and spoke on the social evils of veil, of child marriage, illiteracy, superstition, and advocated for the rights of women through power of education. The speech was an instant hit. And before I reached my home, there was a call that came from the student union of my college, Government College Didwana. This college has never seen a single girl in the student union. I got a call to contest for the vice president's post. I had never been a class monitor. But I wanted to explore. I wanted to discover whether I have it in me to contest the election and to get it there. But nothing came easy in my life, so the presidential candidate got into an altercation with the head of the state right before elections. And the entire administrative machinery swung into action to ensure that these 5 students from his side are defeated. And the end result was my father got, who was a junior engineer in water supply department, tremendous pressure for withdrawing of my candidature. But he did not let me know. The results came. I was the only one who won the election. All other 4 boys were defeated. I won with the highest margin. But my father got his transfer to Beda, Bali, Pali, 7 hours away from my residence, our residence, as a reward. I learned I was not cut for politics, but I had opened the doors for many more girls to enter through and become active members of the student union in my college. I was 19 when I graduated, still not eligible for writing the competitive examination. So I decided to do Masters in English Literature from University of Rajasthan, Jaipur. All the family members, relatives, neighbors, everybody advised my parents that this was the riskiest decision which my parents were taking. Because Jaipur was too big a city for us, we had no relatives over there, I had to stay alone. People even told that I would flee away with some boy of out of caste and would ruin the reputation of my parents. And in such circumstances, still my parents supported and I reached Jaipur. I found the city to be really too big for me. The boys and girls, modern, some of them came from affluent families and also spoke fluent English. I used to stitch my own clothes, was traditional as I could be, and spoke Hindi. So I found myself lost in the environment of the Department of English Literature in Jaipur. I took refuge in the library of University of Rajasthan, spent hours in solitude reading literature. The end result, when the results came, I had secured first rank in the entire University of Rajasthan. Someone who thought she has lost herself, found herself at the top. But even now, the success was not complete. Because I was good at written English, I was still not good at spoken English skills. I was writing all competitive examinations in Hindi medium. I wrote CPO, Bank PO, SSC, Tax Assistant, Reserve Bank of India Officers Examination, everything in Hindi medium. It was in this beautiful, iconic building of RBI Delhi that my interview was going on in Hindi in great way. Suddenly the chairperson noticed that there is this glaring contradiction in my form. He told that if you are the gold medalist with English literature, you have to answer the remaining questions in English. Now, I had prepared for RBI in Hindi, so I didn't know a lot of economic terms in English. I fumbled. I asked them for translation very politely. But when I came out of the interview board, I felt humiliated. I felt as if my entire degree and the gold medal was a farce. And the results came. I secured 5th rank in the Reserve Bank of India Officers Examination. I was the topper with Hindi medium, the youngest to join RBI, and I was posted in Reserve Bank of India, Chennai. For a Hindi-speaking girl from Marwar, Chennai might seem like a punishment posting, but somehow it turned out to be blessing. The class 4 employees and the laborers in the issue department of RBI were ardent fans of Balika Vadhu, a colors TV show about a child bride in Marwar. They wanted to know from me about the rituals, the forts and festivals of Rajasthan. I, in turn, wanted to know about Thalaiva, about temples and traditions of Tamil Nadu. Over cups of lemon tea, we spoke in broken English. But gradually, my confidence soared to a level that when I decided to write UPSC, considered to be the toughest competitive examination in India, I wrote it in my pregnancy. And just to add to the complexity, I decided to change my medium from Hindi to English. So, motherhood, which is considered to be a pause for most of us, it became a new beginning. It sharpened my ambitions. I still vividly remember when I entered the examination hall, the boys and girls with books and notes, I entered with C-section stitches. Leaving my infant outside was such an emotional and physical pain, yet I cleared the prelims, I cleared the mains. The results came on my birthday, 11th May 2011, and I had cleared the UPSC Civil Services examination in my first attempt. No coaching, no shortcuts, no test series, only firm will. And IAS was never about a post, for power, for prestige, for positions. It was always for me a platform to serve, to transform, to deliver. And I'm happy to tell you all that I have been fortunate to get really challenging assignments, beginning from SDM Pain, where I was responsible for conducting elections, completing the National Highway land acquisition, removing encroachments in 78 villages for Mumbai-Goa Highway. People used to tell me that pain is like PAIN, pain for the administration. By the time I finished all these tasks in a limited 15-month tenure, we were removing encroachments without any police protection. People were garlanding the JCBs and were clapping when the encroachment removal drives were happening. From there, I moved to BMC, and again, I was the first ever Joint Commissioner IAS to head the removal of encroachment department. On the very first day, when we were doing the demolition in Garibnagar, Bandra, cylinders blasted. Thunderous noise, glaring, dangerous flames. We stalled the demolition. Commissioner asked me, what is my plan? I said, we are going again next day. And we went, and we carried out demolitions day after day along Tansa water pipeline for religious structures. I was posted as Collector Raigad, when not just COVID, even cyclones were testing our mettle. It was on 2nd June, late night, that I got a call from the head of the state. It was an order that I must immediately leave Alibag because the cyclone was going to make a landfall on the shores of Alibag. My residence and my office were in Alibag. I was in Nagam village at that point of time, evacuating people to safer locations. Throat choked, tears welled up in my eyes. Somehow I responded, how can I leave the citizens behind? How can I put my own safety first? The phone was transferred to the chief secretary, who has also worked with me in BMC, so he knew that I am a very sensitive human being. He this time was harsher. He told that I am not the captain of the ship who has to sink with the ship in the storm. I'm the district collector. I have to rebuild the district after the disaster with relief and rehabilitation. By this time, I cried so much that I could not even respond him. Very late night, I messaged him that, sir, I understand your orders are all legal. You are saying what is expected and under the disaster management manual. Yet, I would never be able to forgive myself if I left the people behind. I put my own safety first. When I saw my own children, my husband, my father-in-law sleeping, I was not seeing them. I was seeing even the people of Alibag sitting in their homes, just with the same assurance that there is administration to take care of them. And by stroke of luck, the cyclone shifted 80 kilometers downwards. I can safely tell you that all my life, I have followed one principle. त्यजेदेकम कुलम शार्थे ग्रामशार्थे कुलम त्यजेत ग्रामम जनपद शार्थे आत्मार्थे पृथ्वीम त्यजेत. We should be ready to sacrifice one for the family, family for the village, village for the nation, and we should be ready to sacrifice anything and everything for protecting our soul. So my friends, this journey has not been exceptional because of titles or because of timelines, but it is beautiful because I have been truly and completely, courageously true to myself. People ask me, how do I manage balance? I tell them I don't seek balance between different roles that I have. I am looking for harmony. So when I paint, I become empathetic. When I write, I become compassionate as administrators. And all my experiences as administrator adds to my creativity. My children, the elder one, Advij, he is now cherishing a dream of becoming a civil servant. My younger one, Advin, his name means artist, and he helps me in my artistic journey. Every role is feeding to other role. So, not harmony, but not balance, but harmony in all the roles because they feed to each other. So I ask you, can you dream without apology? Can you speak without fear? Can you act in alignment with your conscience? Can you stay true to your values when nobody is watching? Can you live a life that feels truly like your own? If your answer is yes, then my dear friends, you too are on a path of self-discovery. Self-discovery which is not luxury. It is survival. It is not about Himalayan retreats or morning pages or leather-bound journals. It is about taking decision to dare, to dream, to deliver, to develop, and to discover your own true, authentic self. Thank you.